Hello, welcome. Welcome, everyone. We're here for another live watch party. Come on in. Join, the more the merrier. Sanket. Feeling the wait is going to be longer than season 3. September. I think that's still unlikely. Sanket. Although it will probably be a while. So it will probably be a while still, but I'm not sure it's going to be that long of a wait. Jim Tim, thank you for coming in. Ava, hi. Hi back to you. Tim Pimvis, hello. And Charlie's here. Thank you for coming in, Charlie. All right, guys. We got some people in. I was going to explain the writer's strike. Oh, sorry. I wasn't live last week. I had to do some home repairs. Unfortunately, that Sunday was kind of annoying. But, so actually, well, hold on. So as you may have seen, John Hurwitz tweeted it's this one. There he is. Yeah. Production has officially halted. Season 6 production is halted. But basically they were in production. They ran production for 2 weeks, and they've now halted, which apparently they ran out of script to shoot. Before we go further, Frank reminds me, yes, happy Mother's Day. I'm not a mom myself, but yes, happy Mother's Day to any mothers who are in the audience or listening or watching the replay. Happy Mother's Day. It is a special day. But so Cobra Kai, they were in production for season 6. Going out there was, casting calls. There was a lot of stuff going on for 2 weeks, and now they've shut down. So apparently they ran out of script to shoot. I'm going to make a video on that more specifically, because I think it's a little bit interesting that they shot for 2 weeks. Did they shoot 1 episode or 2? So Dan, you bring up a good question. It was already planned. Yeah, it definitely was already planned, and something is probably written already. But what happens is they're always like rewriting scripts as they're going along and getting it in while they're in production. And so apparently they ran out of whatever they had. So they, I don't know if they shot only 1 episode or 2 episodes. I'll go into that more in that later, because they were in production for 2 weeks. But apparently whatever they have now isn't ready to go. Monkey, what do you think Sensei Kreese will do? I'm not sure what you're asking. Do you mean just like in season 6? He's on the run, so so he will avoid getting himself caught. Well, I mean, there's at least Bryce, so he's asking, how was anything filmed? No, they clearly had scripts. They started the writer's room in February. So they clearly had scripts written, and it was ready to go. Just at some point, they ran out of stuff to continue to film. So they shot 1 episode, maybe 2, but they don't have anything else to go. It's not revised. It's not ready yet. So that's why, because normally they're getting the scripts in and finishing them and rewriting them as they're in production. Like it's all going on at the same time. So they had something, but then they stopped writing 2 weeks ago, and then they ran out of stuff to shoot. It's basically where it's at. But what is it all over? Why are they striking? That's something I was gonna go into. I don't know how many people care about the minutia. I kind of think it's interesting. They can't film without the credit. Well, they can, Jim Tim. They just more specifically can't film without a finished script. So that's what they need. They gotta, the scripts, they probably have something there. It just needs to be rewritten or something. So it's not ready for production. And since it's not ready for production, they have to shut down. Anyway, I was going to, just so you know, and they've been out there, what are the issues as John and Josh, and this is John's dog, apparently, Martini. Look at that hat. I wonder where he got that hat. Sorry, I'm just like, it's like an old school hat. But from Cobra Kai. So this is what the strike is. So this is just this is like minutia. But I'll go through this, and then I'll show you what I think are the big points. As of May 1. This is when they went on strike. So this is something like basic. They just want increases on minimums for inflation. This is what they're asking for. That's for over the next 3 years, and they're like countering for less. This is like to get big budget streaming movies considered more like theatrical releases. And this is like basically putting the budget at 40 million versus 12 million. These strike me as smaller things they're arguing over. I think this is like in regards to rewrites. I think that's what second step means. This is small stuff. This isn't really the big stuff. There's like a bunch of small things that are like, but this is just like weird. This is just like how do you get paid? Apparently they're arguing, do you get paid all at once? Do you get paid out weekly, split it based on, I don't know. This again, like these are the small things. That's not really a big deal. Daily rate basis. This is like part of it. The big part of this one seems like if there's like a TV show, like the 13-week guarantee. Basically, you're hired. In most of film, like most workers in most production, they work by the week. You get paid by the week. Like that's normal. So like, and then this basically is like wants like a 13-week guarantee. So a writer gets hired for something. It's like a 13-week guarantee. They're not pushing that. The counter offer wasn't including that. And then this is just like more details on setting what the budget line is or whatever. But basically, like they were looking for the 13-week guarantee. They said no. It can be employed on a daily rate basis. I don't know how much that happens though. I don't know. Some people say it happens, but like I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what Appendix A is. Well, I'm looking back at the comments. Barnes doesn't have a dojo. That's how you know that rumor is bunk. Mike Barnes doesn't have a dojo. How does he enter? Second, we're getting season. Yeah. Season 6 will come, and that's something John wanted to say. Monkey, I'm gonna make a video on Miguel's dad. I actually recorded it. I just haven't edited it yet because of the other stuff going on. Yeah, those are completely different things. Anyway, episodic television. This seems to be a big proposal, and I don't think the writers are going to get what they want. But what they're wanting to just like explain, if you have a TV show, it's a minimum staff of 6 writers, including 4 producers, like 4 writer producers. 4 of the writers get the producer credit. And then up to 6 episodes. Then for every 2 episodes after 6, you there has to be 1 more writer. So if you have a 10 episode season, it's 6 plus 2, like, so that's that would be 8 writers on that show. Actually, yeah, that's their example. And 8 episodes has 7 writers. 10 episodes has 8 writers. I don't know. This just seems like they're just like trying to mandate more work for writers. And this is what some people say. Like George R. R. Martin said, this is the biggest. So 10 guaranteed 10 weeks. 3 weeks per episode. So you're on staff. If you have a 10 episode season, you're working 30 weeks. So you get paid for at least 30 weeks, and it has to be a minimum of 10. So minimum is for at least 10 weeks. So if it's like a show with only 3 episodes, like you still get 10 weeks. That's kind of like a minimum, but I think it's if for shows that aren't greenlit yet or get canceled. And then half must be employed through production and 1 must be through post. So it's like you work for at least 30 weeks and then you go start filming. And they want half the writers to be on staff through production. Cobra Kai has that. Michael Jonathan Smith has been on set since season 2. And I think Joe and Luan, their writing team, they have also been there. And then 1 writer through post. This is something, if you read George R. R. Martin, He put a blog post. He claimed this is the most important because he said that's how he learned television. He was working on what was it, the new or Beauty and the Beast or New Twilight Zone. It was Twilight Zone, and he got to be there on set when his stuff was shooting. And then it saw the post, and he said he felt like he learned everything then. I think part of the thing is, as far as I know, the WGA has managed to negotiate that the writer could always be on set, but they're not getting. Maybe previously they weren't getting paid. You could be on set during your episode. So if you wrote the episode, you could be there. I don't know if you were getting paid for that, because that seems like also what they want. See, they want half the staff to continue to be on set for rewrites and such. But like if you have 8 writers, that means you have 4 of your writers there on set during production. It strikes me as a lot. I don't think they're going to get this, or it's going to get negotiated down. Like they're going to have to settle for less, and 1 writer through post. I don't know. That seems it's like maybe, but. Because a lot of times, your executive producers are there, they're writers, and they do stuff like that. There haven't been that many writer strikes, Robert. Yeah, the last one I think was 100 days. It was the one in 1988 or something lasted 6 months. I don't think this one's going to last that long. And I'll explain why in a bit. Matt Moore's here. Thank you, Matt, for coming on in. While not having key staff. You are correct, Matt. Definitely, obviously you want to be able to rewrite the scripts as needed. So TV weeklies, increased weekly. This is just more pay bumps. I'm not sure. I gotta look. I don't know what. Is this like weekly release shows or something? It just seems weird. They're actually making a new writer producer tier above the story editor. I don't know what this. I'm not sure what TV weeklies is. So this is okay. This is like another thing. Where writers take apparently, and I don't know anything about this, but like a lot of streamers, like they're having little writers rooms before they gave a green lit to series. So like they're writing stuff out. So this is what this means: pre-relate green light. So if you take a job to write for a TV show that's not even been ordered yet, but they're just ordering a writer's room, write a couple scripts, let's see if we want to make it. Basically what they're saying is they want a 25% premium. So that means you get your rate plus 25% more. You get paid more. And the idea behind this is the writers taking that, is basically taking a risk, taking a job for a show may not even come out, that may get canceled, like before they even get a chance. So basically they want more money for that. You get premium. They're countering at a 5%. And you got to have 3 or more writers. So you can see that's a big gap. I don't know how often that comes up, but they claim it comes up a lot. But Lisa, thank you for coming in. Hopefully at this point, we're not going to get the release date for a while. If they release an episode title or something, that would be nice. Other shows do that, but it may not happen until after they go production. Okay, this gets pretty complicated. But I think this is the biggest part of the issue is getting here. This is basically just on their residuals, the money they get paid after they do the writing. This is based on so like foreign streaming, if you're streaming in other countries or something, where they get a percentage based on how many subscribers the streaming network has. Basically, this is what they're asking for based on these numbers. Basically, this is like the base. So the minimum, I guess, you would get for your residuals. Maybe it could be higher, but that's your base. This is what the WJ is asking for. This is what they're countering. And by the way, at Paramount Plus and Max, which is HBO Max, have a different plan entirely that they want to offer, because they have different based on how they do it. So you can see basically the difference here. Less than 20 million. This is what they're asking for, and this is what they're offering based on the subscribers. And these are for 1 hour episodes. First year. This is what it strikes me as the biggest one. This is like in the United States. This would affect Netflix and such. Viewership based residuals, in addition to existing to reward programs with greater viewership and require transparency. This is a big issue. Basically, because they don't get a lot of money, no matter how popular your show is. In the old days, your residuals were based off syndication. People paid money to get the syndication rights, and you got a percentage of that money that they paid. So the more popular a show was, the more people would pay for it, then the more money you got in your residual. Since it's streaming, that doesn't apply anymore. So they're basically looking for a way of compensation which can reward especially much more popular shows if that get a lot of higher viewership. And this part is important because if you have a system like that, you have to be able to verify it. So you need transparency regarding program views. The streamers don't like to give that information out. How many people really watched? We don't know. How much did they watch? We don't know. And so they rejected. They didn't make a counter. So this seems to be the biggest thing that the strike is over. The residuals, because it's all about the money, right? And then this one with ad supported, that's part of it too. But this is where they're gonna want. I think the union will probably get this in some fashion. I don't know how much it'll be, and part of the reason is I think the actors are gonna want the same thing, and the Screen Actors Guild contract expires June 30th, which is, it's a month and a half from now. I suspect the writer's strike will coincide with that. And basically the actors and writers want the same thing. They're going to want more from the residuals and stuff like this. So the actors are going to look for the same thing. And so they're going to realize, the studios realize they have to cut a deal with the actors and the writers. The difference is the Actors Guild, all this stuff up here, duration of employment, minimum guarantees, pre-greenlit rooms, all this stuff, this doesn't apply to actors. Like, actors don't have anything to worry about how many weeks you're in the writer's room or something. An actor gets hired, shows up on set, that's it. So the actors don't have any of this negotiating, but the actors are going to want something more residuals and probably something like this. And that's why I think that the writers will get this, because the actors want it too. And if they can't give it to one without the others, I mean, realistically, so they're going to have to probably give this to everyone. And that's why I think the writers will get some sort of compromise. I mean, these exact amounts, I don't know what it'll be. And probably, I don't know how much it'll be, but they'll get some sort of compromise in regards to residuals based on viewership, and maybe more for the foreign and such. They'll get something from here. I think they're less likely to get something from here. Just because, in a way, because the actors want the same thing. The directors, by the way, too. The directors are a little bit different, but, the actors aren't going for this. So you aren't going to get as much from this. Pension and health. This is like writers' teams. It's kind of minor. Artificial intelligence. This is interesting. Obviously, with the new Chat GPT and everything, regular use of artificial intelligence on MBA covered projects. AI can't write or rewrite literary material. Can't be used as source material. And MBA covered material can't be used to train AI. Interesting. So you can't take scripts that were, part of this agreement, written in part of this agreement, plug it in and then use that and say, hey, that's an example of some good scripts. Write me a good script. You can't train AI with it. You can't use it as source material. So you can't say, hey, tell me a story that can make a good script. And you can't use it. So they want to ban it all. They reject it. I said, no. Countered by offering annual meetings to discuss advancement in technology. I mean, while yeah, AI is probably not writing scripts immediately, the WGA is looking ahead and saying one and dead. They're saying, no, no. I don't know. You get a script fee on top of your weekly, which apparently is new. I thought they always got that. Why did I think they always got that? I don't know. This is some basic stuff. Pilot premium, backup script premium, earnings cap, tentative. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the things they agreed on. So basically, the WGA, it would be approximately $429 a year extra on top of costs. They're countering 86 million. 48% was from the minimums increase. So that's basically it. Like I said, I think the artificial intelligence is interesting, but they probably won't get much on that. The really big thing is all this streaming, all this money. They'll get. I think they'll get this. It may not be the exact amount, the numbers, but they'll get something from this partially because I think the actors want the same thing. A lot of these things, the minimums and all this stuff, they may not get as much of this, and I honestly, some of this to me personally. Is it really do you really need 8 writers just because you have 10 episodes? Is that fucking necessary? It sounds like you're just creating work for work. I don't know. I personally seem a little bit more skeptical of this. These parts of it. Some people really, do you really need half the staff through production? Is that absolutely necessary? I'm a little skeptical. There's many successful shows that don't have that. I know their job is to get work for writers, so I get why they ask it, but I don't even know if that's needed. Half the staff, it has to be half. It's not